हेलो फ्रेंड्स। मैं हूं अवधेंद्र। फ्रेंड्स, हम let us talk little bit about India-China relationship. The Indian foreign minister today, uh, Rajnath Singh, met Chinese defense minister in Laos just yesterday. They met, and very same day, foreign minister of India, S. Jaishankar, and uh, Wang Yi, the foreign minister, you can call it, of China, met in Brazil sideline of G20. Both talked about India-China relationship. India's first and foremost uh, the urgency of India's China relationship from India side was to first you have to solve the border dispute, then we will engage rest of the relationships after that. But first is first and foremost thing is we have to first resolve the border dispute, then we will talk later all the engagement of India-China relationship. That was uh, India's first stand. But China was saying this, let us talk rest of the relationship and uh, cooperate bilaterally engage with separately defense matter and border dispute settlement mechanism. Since India said no, we have to first resolve this, then I will talk later. All the respective cooperation, including the economic engagement and investment, opening up India because India locked investment from the FDI from China, and also highly scrutinized the Chinese investment, as well as India uh, uh, no, avoided not to issue visas to the Chinese citizens, including tourism as well. And right now, the change in behavior of China, that is must be a study. According to me, China is a very opaque country, and there is no transparency in the system. What they are thinking, what why they took this such kind of decision, amassed a lot of forces along the border. They moved. They have signed agreement, but they moved forces to the border. But what led to this to happen? Nobody exactly know, but everybody guess it like that, this and that. But this that can be correct. But in regard to China, because there is no transparency, there is a suspicion of Chinese action. Yes, we are observing right now a sea change, landscape change in Chinese behavior. Since Prime Minister Modi went to Kazan, Russia, and met Xi Jinping there in Kazan at sideline of BRICS meeting, uh, there I see the change. Chinese abruptly right now seeking cooperation with India. That is the question mark. What led to such kind of Chinese behavioral change? In my point of view, that they did the strategic mistake, and they are realizing it. They did that because this was not the moment, because the time was not good. They knew that. Uh, I think they were underestimating India. They were underestimating India. Yes, that's why they massed a lot of forces along the border. They wanted to treat India. They actually thought that we will make the bipolar world, and India must be, you know, submissive to China. That's why they amassed forces. They felt that India will, uh, do submission to China. But their assumption went wrong. Now they are realizing India is right now very aggressive, and it is their strategic mistake. They uh, did the mistake calculation, strategic calculation. They miscalculated India's strength. Their perception is about India is right now have sea changed because they got the opportunity in COVID period. They felt that India is big, one fourth, one fifth of Chinese economy. So uh, they have advantage, strategic advantage, economic advantage. This is the time in which they can pressure India to submit to the Chinese influence. And there would be the multipolar world. Only India which is challenging China in Asia is India. India is only country which is challenging Chinese influence. They calculated it, but their calculation went wrong. Right now, India is fielding against the China, and China is facing the heat. That completely reversed situation. They are right now fearing that the global, equation, political fabric and economic fabric is rapidly changing. Mr. Xi Jinping, I heard that he was talking about there is a turbulent war there, and they want to stabilize the thing, and there should be something like cooperation and not to confrontation kind of system they were talking about with Biden, the US president. I saw that the Chinese anxiety. I felt that Chinese is very because the economic downturn they are facing right now, and they also felt uh, the internal domestic problem in their real estate sector. Right now, the foreign companies, because of delinking and de-risking kind of phenomenon around the world, their market means the uh, Chinese export is right now delinking. So the friendshoring kind of phenomenon is being developed around the world. It's multipolar world, multi uh, center of economic production center is being created. So this is very different kind of world we are living in. Chinese know that system is changing, and भागे भूत की लंगोटी सही हमारे हिंदी में बोलते हैं गांव की तरफ. तो दे आर फीलिंग इट. किसको बचाओ, मैक्सिमम से मैक्सिमम कंपनीज को किस तरह हम चाइना में रोक सकते हैं, बिकॉज foreign companies is unable to compete with the domestic producers in China, which is competing with the foreign companies, because the subsidies the Chinese gives to their domestic companies. So there's uh, no competition between foreign companies and domestic funded companies. So foreign companies is facing heat, uh, uncompetitive becoming business in China. So they are leaving Chinese market and finding somewhere else. And Mr. Trump has also said that we will impose 60% tariff on the Chinese imports. So that's why that's become the deterrence for the foreign companies to shift somewhere else. China plus one strategy or plus two strategy, either go to Vietnam, go to the India. So this kind of strategy is developing right now. So China is facing heat at the economic front. So that's why India is 1.42 billion population. They need India right now. They want to increase because they know that India's economy is right now 100 plus billion dollar, 100 plus billion dollars going to China. And so China is facing China knowing that India's economy is booming up. So it has a potential. Middle class families is growing up, and 700 plus million consumer market India have. So they are finding the opportunity if they are locked with India in border dispute, some classes, then there is a economic repercussion over that. So Chinese are finding the cooperation right now. They are aligning with India's interest, not the India's interest. They are aligning with and cooperating with India and setting aside the border dispute as before the 2020. That doesn't mean that there is a dispute is solved. They are setting the dispute aside. We will solve it in later. But right now, because there is turbulence, their economy is suffering. There is because if economy is suffering, there may be the chaos. Okay, internal chaos means social fabric disturbance. So Chinese is very compressive society. If such kind of disturbance happens in the internal structure, there may be balloon bust. So China is very uh, uh, different in nature. So Chinese that's why seeking cooperation with India. I do understand this because of the economy of China is suffering greatly. It's my own opinion. Definitely, it's right. What opinion? It's right. It doesn't my opinion. That's the fact I'm telling you. Okay. So that's why the defense minister met with India's defense minister and foreign minister Xi Jinping. Also, the leader level talks is happening. And right now, yes, foreign minister discussed the visa issues, tourism issues, and FDI open up to the market of India and many other things. Okay, so definitely it will because these are the two giant nations in Asia. Uh, these are two giant nations in Asia. I see that if there is a fissure or a problem in Asia, then Asian economy will suffer as a result because there is a lot of backwardness in Asia because developing character of the states. So need cooperation definitely, but peace can be only established. I think I felt that I was thinking a little bit about China's behavior. Whatever is happening, the cooperation and etc. means we cannot trust China. The trust factor is very important. You cannot trust China. There is trust deficit because no transparency is there in their actions, in their deeds, in their words. So that's the problem. Being as a neighbor, we are always anxious about the Chinese behavior. Whenever they felt something without noticing India, they brought the forces. They violated every agreement they have done already. Since 1949, the Communist Party took place, uh, China. So after that, 1955 relationship was good in 5 6 years before in the starting period. They cooperated with Pandit Nehru, Indian Prime Minister. But after that relationship, when they captured Tibet and they brought the forces to the Indian border. After that, 59 and 62, there was a war. And after that, India's relationship went completely disengaged. And right now, 1985, China felt also the economic compulsion because China started their industrial development. So they need the market. So India is naturally a billion population. They cooperated with India. They started pumping a lot of finished product to India. So as a proportion, uh, they get benefit. They develop their industries and industrial empires. They boom their economy. 16 plus percent is upper year growth rate China achieved in decades. So that's why China reached 19 billion trillion dollar right now, the GDP. So China do understand that business is business. Business is mandatory. War is not necessary right now. Avoid it. India is not coming. Definitely, India is not pushing into the Tibetan region. So there is no put it aside and let's cooperate because this is a turbulence time. Mm, Cooperation is a good thing right now because there is disturbance all around the China. Even you can see the South Korea, Japan is anniversary, the Philippines is anniversary, Vietnam is anniversary of China. So South China Sea is claimed by China is also a question. That's becoming the Indo-Pacific issue. So to cool down India's anger, okay. So I think one thing coming in my mind also that uh, India saying that China did aggression after withdrawing and disengaging. India would not be make the further claim that China did aggression because there is a resolution took place in between right now. So there is no question uh, for anti-China attitude of India. So they are in the cooperation. They are also seeking India's uh, affection and empathy towards China because India would not have that much um, angriness about the Chinese actions. So little bit cooperation in India's attitude will be shown towards the China because dependency on Chinese economy and vice versa. So there would be some kind of behavioral change, a kind of adversarial to the friendly relationship. Okay, so you cannot encircle your friends or feel to your friends. Okay, so because of the China going to war with US as a trade war, and 35% already European Union have increased their import duty tariffs they have imposed already on Chinese products. 60% US is also claiming that where is the market? Where is the market? So India is definitely your border. Just 1 and 2 kilometer left, right, undrawn border. You have put forth unnecessary war between two, you know, giant in Asia. You have to understand they did a strategic mistake, and they are right now want to quell this conflicting situation into the carpet. Okay, so that's why China is fishing. Uh, they also do understand that they did test, stress test of Indian leadership. This is very important. Stress test they did. They pressured Indian leadership, and they know that here is a leadership who can talk even 31 or 32 times of engagement and disengagement phenomenon. Okay, it's a question of boundaries, issues, or anybody thing. So they did stress test as well for Indian leadership, so they can feel the pressure or not. So they know that Indian leadership is able enough to stand the pressure. So that's the, I think, this is also a point. So thank you very much. But there is a distrust in relationship. But definitely, if relationship improves some degree, so there is economic integration. So that would be beneficial for both the country. But China is in a 190 or 100 billion dollar surplus. So definitely it is tilted towards the Chinese benefit. Okay, so let us see. We will discuss later in detail as well. So you need to assemble a lot of information, years of information, putting together and drawing this and that, making a kind of statement, thinking about the how they are thinking, what they did. Because in relationship, this is very important thing. Uh, stronger means stronger. Means they always pressure the weak to uh, weak means that in proportion to that stronger person, this person is weak. Okay, that doesn't mean that this person has nothing to resist. So in general relationship, it happens when you are weak, the stronger will pressure you to accept or submit or follow the stronger's attitude, or you have to work for their. They will try to suppress you, to submit the weak to the stronger. So जिसकी लाठी उसकी भैंस आई मीन ये है ना. So it happens everywhere, even though at a state level or international level. There is a rule of law वगैरह वगैरह, ये सब होता एक्चुअल में नहीं है. So thank you very much.